Should you meditate with music? It's a question I've had a bunch of times, and to save you some time, the short answer is that I'd suggest meditating in silence most of the time, but every so often it's fine to have the session accompanied by some relaxing music. Yes, if that's all you wanted to know, you can click off the video now. Although if you want to stick around, not only will sticking around to the end help promote this video to other people so other people can get this answer, but I'm also going to go into a lot more depth about why this is and the differences between, meditating with music, meditating in silence, and the different kinds of music and so on. So let's get right into that. Let's start with the different kinds of music. And no, I don't mean the different genres. I'm not talking about whether you prefer Justin Bieber or Norwegian death metal. I'm just going to divide music into two different kinds, which is loud music or lyric heavy music, or relaxing / quiet music. So let's go into a bit more detail on each of those. Let's start with loud music or lyric heavy music. So when you're trying to focus on your breathing, which is what you're typically doing in meditation, loud instruments, vocals and distracting lyrics are going to make that a lot more difficult. Most of the time this is a really bad thing and it's going to detract from the meditation experience. You do not want to make meditation more difficult for yourself because meditation can already be extremely difficult. Especially if, you're like most of us and you spend time on social media in front of the TV and, being bombarded by all this information all the time, overloading your brain, then your brain is kind of a mess when you first sit down to meditate. And you are already going to deal with a lot of distractions when you're trying to focus, and you don't need any more. On the other hand though, if you're trying to learn to meditate in noisy or distracting environments like, on the train to work and stuff like that, then you can actually sort of simulate that by putting on this kind of music, like putting on music that's got lots of lyrics, or that's just generally loud and has got tons of instruments and tons going on. Now I don't suggest doing this all the time, and I don't suggest doing this at all if you've just started out with meditation, but if you've been meditating for a while and you want to learn to meditate in some challenging and different environments, you can try it out. The second kind of music that I talked about is relaxing or quiet music. So if you go for relaxing music, you want to choose music that has no lyrics whatsoever here, as you're going to naturally try to listen to lyrics when you hear them. That's a tension that should be kept at your breath that you're diverting elsewhere, so go for music with no lyrics. Now you can use this kind of music to aid you in the relaxation process, because if it's relaxing music, then guess what? It's relaxing music because it relaxes you, and you want to be relaxed for meditation. That can actually aid in meditation. Now there are two downsides to this kind of music, and the first downside is that some people are going to find any kind of music distracting. It doesn't matter what you put on. You can put on some super quiet instrumental, or you can put on like some screamo or something, and people are going to find all of it distracting regardless. Some people are just going to find any music distracting. The second downside though is that for those of you who don't find relaxing music distracting, you might actually become reliant on it for successful meditation rather than learning to relax by yourself. And since meditation is sort of like training for your mind, you do want to be developing these habits yourself rather than relying on external tools. This is also why I emphasize that meditation and guided meditation are two different things, because when you're doing a guided meditation session, even if it is a guided breath meditation session, you're using someone else's voice to guide you through it, and you're not doing it yourself, you're not doing the work yourself. So while it can be great as its own thing, using guided meditation to relax or to implant suggestions in your subconscious, like with some of my guided meditations, or it can be a good way to learn how to meditate, it isn't a substitute for regular meditation. More on that in a future video probably. Anyway, silence versus music. So as I said at the beginning of the video, most of the time I would suggest silence. If you do need music to relax, if you do find that relaxing music does help you settle down for meditation, then the best time to actually listen to it is before you meditate. I talk about this in my video about warming up for meditation. I say that you can do things like listen to relaxing music or ASMR or a guided meditation, or lighting some incense or doing a breathing exercise or whatever, doing something to warm you up and get you relaxed and ready. But you don't really need to listen to any music while you're meditating, and I think most of the time silence is better. However, it's not really a big deal either way. You can meditate in complete isolation in a cave in the middle of nowhere in utter 100% silence. Or you can meditate on a busy, noisy train in public, surrounded by tons of people who are all on their phones, who have music going and stuff like that. Meditation is an inner experience that can be done anywhere, even with distractions. Nonetheless, most of the time I would suggest silence, and this particularly goes for beginners where even small distractions can make the process a lot more difficult. Now, what about things like binaural beats and stuff like that? Do these count as music? Well, I'd say that they're sort of like even further along the spectrum than relaxing music. You know, there's usually not much of any rhythm or melody there, so there's less for your brain to focus on. So it's not very likely to distract you at all, unless you pick one of those binaural beats that's like mostly music with just a, you know, tiny beat in the background. And so I think you can use this at times if you do want to relax more for meditation, but again, I suggest usually using these sorts of things before you meditate rather than during meditation. It's not a big deal if you do use it during meditation, but most of the time it's just easier to listen to it before and then meditate in silence. Now hey, if you made it this far, thank you for sticking around. Like I said earlier, this actually really helps out my videos. YouTube pays attention to how much of my videos that you watch. So if you stick around to the end of my video, it tells YouTube that you actually really liked the video and wanted to watch it, and so it recommends it to more people. So as a thank you, I'm giving another discount code for my self-improvement course, Hard is the New Easy. It is 4 hours and 52 minutes of content. You can see a bunch more about the course and what it covers on screen, although I'll warn you that I couldn't fit everything on screen because there's just that much in there. And if you want to get your hands on it, you can use the code to the end, because you stuck around right to the end, to get 33% off. This is a limited offer that will only apply for the first few people to use the code. You can use it at checkout, or you can just visit the link gum.co/hitne/to-the-end to have the code apply automatically. That's gum.co/hitne/to-the-end. You can also find links in the top right hand corner and down in the description below. Just remember to apply the code if it doesn't apply automatically. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and enable notifications if you want to stay up to date with my videos. And if you want to keep watching, check out one of those videos that's on screen right now. Go watch that, and I'll see you there soon. Take care.